Great Saturday to everyone, and I just want to encourage somebody today. What I'm about to say is going to come off a little poetic, but I just finished typing a post on one of my social media pages, and I want to give it to you all on the other platforms as well. I want to say, here's my problem with law enforcement, with some law enforcement. If you really want to know who people are after you see them on paper, look at where they hang. Look at who they hang out with. Look at what they post. Look at the content that they give every day. Look at who they spend their time with. And that can go with who they hang with, but look at who they spend their time, who he or she spends his or her time with. I'm a man that has been a father for 8 years. In those 8 years, I acquired a second child. I have 2. Anybody that knows me in law enforcement, I hope y'all watching this too. Anybody that knows me knows that I get up every day with a positive mindset. And before I put something out in the atmosphere, I think of who can it inspire? Who can it help? What can it clarify? What can it justify? How do we look at the logical, emotional, and credible appeal? That show ethos is your credible appeal. Logos is your logical appeal. Pathos is your emotional appeal. And sometimes I put things out and people think that I'm mad. And I'm just like, no, sometimes when you are thinking credibly, logically, and you're appealing to emotional appeal, everyday decision making that we all have to encounter, it can stir the pot sometimes, but it doesn't make me a bad guy. It doesn't make me a suspect. And oftentimes, when I speak in public, when I speak in person, when I text, when I am accurate with a lot of things, it can stir the pot. It can make people upset. It can cause people to think I'm their enemy. When truth of the matter is, when you come to set the record straight about something, people who have been cheating the processes, people who have been lying about the things that are exposed when you bring truth, when you bring credibility, when you bring logic, and emotional is more so not a thing to go off of, but when you bring credibility and logic, people who don't move off of credibility and logic, in fact, they get disturbed. But the emotional side is kind of like empathizing for others. But here's where I'm going with this, and I want you to get from this video. If you really want to know who somebody is, I'm speaking to law enforcement. I'm speaking to anybody who ever seen my name on paper, anybody that ever done a Google search, anybody that ever seen a record of me. Look at what I do every day. If I'm not at the crib, I'm at the barbershop. If I'm not at the barbershop, I'm exercising. If I'm not at the crib, nor the barbershop, nor exercising, I'm somewhere reading. I'm somewhere studying. I'm somewhere teaching. I'm with my children. I'm trying to get a good word from somebody. And then if I come across adversaries, my goal is to always consider the Willie Lynch letter of 1712, which turned people against one another for a cause of destruction. I'm not against that. Anybody that knows me knows that I will talk it out with you. I will study it out with you. I will pray it out with you. I will plan it out with you. But one thing about me, I do not back down from evil when I know I come to do good. And sometimes evil, when they see you coming, they got to cheat. They got to put hurdles in front of you. They got to lie. They got to try to bring you down. They got to hide you, throw you in the vault. They got to have you jailed, etc., etc. But if you're a person moving for good, I want to encourage you to go in faith, knowing that whatever enemies come your way, the Lord will deliver you from those enemies. And sometimes you might have to go through things that you don't deserve. But at the end, it may be somebody in places. It can be in places of freedom, places of confinement. It can be wherever, who need to meet a person like you. Because the ultimate goal is you were sent here to help save the lost souls. And sometimes you got to go somewhere you don't want to be to save the lost. because at the end of the day, it's not about my story. It's about what the Lord puts out here that he needs everybody to know before he calls us all home. Keep it there.